Much better finish than last time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, just a real blessing to be in this opportunity and to have guys around us that we do.
Did that cross your mind at all, that game from 2 years ago, just to kind of get you going a little bit? No, not at all? Okay.
Flushed it.
Eric, your sack on that, I don't think your line yielded a sack today, and that's supposed to be the best defensive line in the country. And obviously you had room to operate. Talk about that, how they were able to contain that D-line.
Yeah, O-line came out there and did great today because they knew they had a tough challenge, and just throughout the week just tried to challenge our guys and just say, like, as long as they protect and block, we thought we can pick them apart.
Kenner, how big do you think those the two forced turnovers were early for you guys?
I mean, anytime we can get the ball back in our offense's hands, we're doing something right. We were really lucky to go and have guys make plays like that, and the offense took advantage of it.
When Gage went down earlier in the year, you guys obviously never lost any confidence with this guy here, but just the way he's played the last couple of weeks, what can you say about it?
No, it's unreal. I mean, the maturity and, just not ever overlooking anything and, just really taking everything on like a pro. It's just awesome to watch him develop and lead this team.
Eric, can you talk about just how much your play is different than that Weber State game 6-7 weeks ago, and how much the offense has changed since then?
I don't really think the offense has changed like that. I think we just had a bad game, really, just because when we went back and watched the film against Weber State, stuff was there. Like, receivers was open, plays was to be made, but I just didn't do a good job of just hitting my receivers. And then just from there, I just wanted to come back in the bye week and just try to progress and get better each and every week.
What do you think you're better at now? Is it just that decision-making?
Yeah, decision-making, just seeing the read, scanning the defense more quicker, and just trying to get my receivers the ball.
Maine gave up, I think, -1 yards rushing last week. You guys ran for more than 200. How were you guys able to get it going on the ground?
I think our running backs did a good job. O-line did a good job of blocking, and I really think they was trying to key on me, like not wanting me to get outside. So I thought that opened up a lot for our running backs.
You think it opened up some of the stuff on the inside pass game, too? It seemed like you were getting to the slot pretty easy, too.
Yeah, I thought so, too.
I did want to ask about one of your touchdown throws, if you can remember the third one, where you threw it kind of past the defender as you were scrambling. What did you see on that play? You just kind of walk through that play.
So it's kind of like it's a pull read for me, and I'm pretty much the outside guy. He's trying to stutter, and then trying to take the inside vertical. Then the slot is acting like he's running a bubble. Then he's going to turn up and run on the field. So my whole thing was, when I saw that rover lose eyes, I just tried to make sure I put it in the best spot that my receiver could catch it.
And then one more throw, that cross-field throw. I think it was to Williams. What did you see on that? It was a long throw. It was about a 50-yard throw from one.
Oh, it was simple, yeah. So on that, it was just kind of like a wheel route, just trying to see if the DB, he followed the receiver. So if he went high, we just tried to create a rub route, and then I just had to do a good job of just putting the ball so my receiver could catch it.
You're going through all those touchdown passes. I'm wondering, Eric, when's the last time that you threw this many touchdowns in a game?
Back in high school.
How many times have you done that?
This would be my third time now.
What?
How would you compare this one to the other two?
Oh, this one is way better. Just because we're going to a championship, so you can't beat that.
What is that like for you? This is part of the reason why you come to Eastern Washington is to play for a national championship, and now you have a chance to do that.
I mean, it still haven't hit me yet, really. It just kind of just feel like a regular game to me still, but I think like just once like I'll settle in, just probably like go back home, listen to my mom gonna call me because she gonna be going crazy. So I think like once I just settle in, that's when it finally hit me.
Kettner, you know how difficult it is to get to a national championship. What does this moment mean to you?
No, it's just awesome. A lot of hard work from a lot of guys coming together and paying off, and we've got one more step left, and I'm excited to attack the opportunity.
Are you guys excited to play North Dakota State since they are kind of the premier FCS team in a way?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they are 7 of the last 8 years or something like that they've been there. And, they've set that bar high, and we're excited to go in and take them on and capture the opportunity.
Your D-line did pretty well today and didn't have JT. Talk about how they were able to kind of still, force penetration without the confidence that's defensive lineman.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like all year. It's next man up, and our D-line is really deep, and, there are playmakers top to bottom in that group especially. And it was cool to see some young guys go out there and step it up, and some guys who, kind of role players step up and attack their role.
Ketter, it seems like the defense has really set the tone, forcing turnovers early in some of these games here. What does, I guess, how do you guys go about that?
Yeah, we try to get 3 turnovers at least every practice, and we've done that since the off season and since we started practice this fall. And it's just something that we know if we can get the ball back in our offense's hands, we're going to be in good shape. And so that is the primary focus of what we're trying to do.
And the last 5 games going into this game, you guys outscored opponents 117 in the fourth quarter, and today was similar pace. Is that a conditioning thing? What's with the fourth quarter you guys doing that, people?
Yeah, definitely. Done a conditioning, and then just, we looked in 2016. We had a couple shutouts on defense in the fourth quarter. And last year that let up a little bit, and we just know that if you finish a game out as well as you can, it puts you in a better spot. So that's kind of our focus.
Eric, you started this season as a backup,
Yeah.
and now you've led a team to a national championship. How does that feel?
It's crazy because not too many people get the opportunity to do that. Like, I kind of feel like Nick Foles in the situation, just because how he led the Eagles. So, but it's crazy just because, as a person, I dream for playing a national championship, and for it to finally be here is just so real.
Kenner, what's the last 2 years been like after losing that semifinal game in 2016 and getting left out of the playoffs last year to go through it with this many seniors? What's that been like for you guys as a group?
It's been tough. And, I think just the amount of work that everyone's put in, and the focus we've had this year and going back to last year even. It's been it's a lot of work, and it's good to see it pay off.
We're going to first talk about the individual that you may or may not want to ask about, and that was JT Tuley. A violation of team rules. I'm going to say it one time only, and answer 0 questions after that. He was not available today due to violation of team rules. We talked during the week, and this isn't a one-man band. This is a team effort. And so obviously we have team rules enforced, and so I'm not at liberty to talk about the situation or the circumstance. And so here we open it up, obviously, for questions, if you want to start out with questions.
Your opening thoughts about the game itself.
Awesome. Semifinal, 50 points. Defense gave up 17. Offense gave up 2 on a bad snap, errant snap, to start the second half on our first series, Sam. It's unfortunate. It's the only thing that kind of felt like the momentum could have only shifted because of some things that were self-inflicted. Too many penalties. Obviously, my blood pressure was up a few times during the game. I didn't like the fact that there were a lot of flags thrown. It is what it is. I don't think that I saw some of the same things they saw. And I'll just leave it at that. But we battled through adversity. Obviously, the first series on defense, getting an interception, giving the offense the ball at the 1-yard line, that's incredible. That's always going to help you in the playoffs. Then you're at home. You got the home crowd behind you. The crowd was amazing. Thank you all for coming out. There was a lot of support. A lot of people bought tickets to help people get in the stadium. It helped. It has always helped, especially this time of year. No students, and it sounded like it was a midseason game. I can't say enough. I thought we were controlled from the start, Sam, and I thought we lost a little bit of control in that third quarter, lost a little footing, and then regained it. But a stout, obviously, team ended up throwing the ball late on us and kind of got a couple big plays off their RPO situation. But I think at the end of the day, we made a statement on offense that not too many people outside of Eagle Nation thought we were going to make.
Eric Berry.
7 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, someone mentioned that after the game. I had 0 idea he accounted for 7 touchdowns. Now, with that in mind, he gave one of the opposing team 2 right before half. And that was important. It was a learning moment. We all grow up and learn. That was a 4-possession game going into that play, and then it could have been a 5-possession play had we got at least 3 points out of that drive. That's why it's so important. Not the interception itself, but it creates another possession. We knew we were getting the ball in the second half to start, so just getting 3 points up 31-0 in a 5-possession game, getting the ball on the opening kick, that's different than being up 4-0, and then we have the obviously errant snap on the second play of the second half to give them 2 points. But again, Eric ended up kicking the ball out of the end zone. That was a heady play, high football IQ play to save ourselves 5 points in the event that they fell on the football. So yes, Eric Berry is incredible. Most people in this room, outside of our four walls, thought, how are they going to figure this thing out with Eric Berrier after Ogden? Well, we did it. We're here, and we're the lone survivor of the Big Sky Conference, the representative, and we beat 3 conference champions along the way. So I couldn't be prouder of the group in that locker room. They believed. We don't have a ton of starters at the start of the year playing now, which is the most incredible feat of all. We're playing with about 8 starters down, so that's, if my math's right, 14 initial starters from the start of the season, less than the entire country probably combined.
Aaron, when we talked in the offseason just about the motivation from being left out last year, what'd you think of these guys kind of embracing that and getting all the way to this point?
Well, they did, and I'll tell you what, Coulter, I wasn't, I didn't use it a ton because I know they used it and some of our media folks used it, so I don't want to drive that home. It's like your parents saying over and over, take your shoes off when you get in the house, take your shoes off when you get in the house. At some point, you're going to turn them off. And so we stayed away from that most of the year as a coaching staff and kind of just let that facilitate itself. We've left zero doubt, and everybody came in here, including probably yourself. You probably had a write-up on how these guys can't beat anybody in the semis since 2010. Well, we've done that, so you're going to have to write a new story as you go forward. But in all seriousness, I mean that. It's just everybody hangs on something, and it's like, well, here we go again. Well, there's new news next time around. So proud of this group. Again, beautiful day in terms of weather. Could have asked for better weather. And it's tough. Maine comes out to Ogden, goes back home, comes back out to the West Coast. At some point, that's going to play. Unfortunately, they didn't play their A game today. We did. We got off to a fast start. We kept the momentum as the game unfolded.
I think a lot of people after 2010 figured Eastern Washington would be back sooner rather than later. The way things were going and so many close calls. What does this mean for this football team, for this institution, for the community to get back? Because I know a lot of people have been waiting for this moment.
A lot of people care. And look behind you, Sam. You got the president of the university, Dr. Coleman, behind you. You got associate and assistant athletic directors. You got the director of athletics behind. There's a lot of people that care about what we do on Saturday. You only get to see, like we've talked about, the Saturday performance. There's a ton of work that goes into this. We just got the grades back in the first quarter. Not to be coached, we're going to talk about grades in a press conference. We have the highest grades in the fall at a 3.10 than we have since I came back in 2008 with Coach Baldwin. 3.10. Now, that's not awesome, but it's pretty good. And we're striving for a 3.15. So not just the performance on the field, but the stuff you don't see off the field is incredible. So we do it with wristbands on, or we do it with pencils in our hand. And so that's the awesomest thing of this all. We're not just football players. We're student athletes. And there's a lot of people that support our enterprise, and we're appreciative of that. And you're at Eastern just based on the people and how they value us. I just met 2 chain gangs guys for the first time in 26 years. They said they were on chains when I first played here. But they haven't met me since Coach Kramer had us on the home side. It used to be the other side. And so Coach Wolf got the job, moved the Eastern to the now press box side. They said, I've been wanting to meet you for 26 years. I go, well, not too far hard to find me. You go, it's just those type of people, just the quality of the DNA of the people that reside here. Not just come for a weekend, Coulter. You're a good guy. Not just come for a weekend, but that reside here. It's unmatched. It's unmatched, and I mean that. So there's a lot of hard work, a lot of blue-collar folks that are willing to work not only for themselves, but also for their brother and sister that want the same outcome.
Coach, you just talk about Eric's progression over the last 7 weeks since that Weaver game. What's he doing better?
Well, he's got more experience. Anytime you're 2 years old, it's different than when you're 9 years old. And so that was his 9th start, if I remember right. So if you're 2 and you're 9, I'm hoping you're not making the same mistakes when you're 9 years old that you made when you're 2 years old. And the analogy doesn't exactly fit, but you know what I'm talking about, where everybody wants instant success. Some of the success we've had over time, like Sam's alluding to, they just want success over and over. So do we. There's a lot of things that go along with this that you have zero idea about, which we want to keep it that way. It's in-house. We have our own adversity. We have our own challenges. But that's what makes it you're so appreciative of the moments when you get to this moment, knowing that there wasn't just practice. It didn't all go good. I mean, Tuesday we had half the coaching staff, shoveling the lines, on the hashes on the field. So the lines need to be shoveled, and we don't have enough people, so let's do it. I mean, that's who we are. That's who we're going to continue to be. And if we can keep that fabric along with our competitiveness, continue recruiting the Eastern kind of guys, we're going to always have a chance.
What does it mean to you? This is your alma mater. Being able to lead your alma mater to a national championship game. What does this moment mean to you?
Well, I shed a few tears last week. Brennan, today I tried to keep them in a little bit. I will say this, I thought about this morning. I woke up early, believe it or not, I get on the treadmill on Saturdays. I know I don't look like it, but I do. And I've told my son a couple times after we've had this opportunity in the semifinals, Tank, he's come down a couple times on the stairs and says, Dad, that means we don't get to go to Frisco, right, to see our cousins? That's right, Tank. That's crushing. That's crushing. And this time I got to tell him we get to see our cousins when we go to Frisco. So we got out of the woods a little bit. I don't know if I can put it into words, Brennan. I'm kind of on cloud 10. If there's a cloud 10 above cloud 9, I can't say enough about this program, about the support we have, the ability to make something out of nothing, and continue to do it over and over and again. The kids are just unflappable. The guys just are so. They love one another. I hear the L word all the time. It's the best four-letter word out there, and it's true. It's true. Guys are selfless out there, and that's what makes this engine go.
How are you able to run so effectively against their defense?
We're at home. We haven't traveled. We've got a good running game. You know, I mean, just at the end of the day, I mean, that's as stoic as everybody wanted to be. While they give up 60, the game is not played on paper. Everybody wants to play the game on paper. Let's play the game out here. Let's do that. That's what I'm excited about. You know, let's be about it. Let's not talk about it. That's what we do.
One more question?
Can you talk about Simba's performance today?
Awesome. Awesome again. You know, I mean, a guy caught a few big balls. I think he had a couple touchdowns. I don't know what his stats are like. I've just kind of been back and forth and high-fiving. I met about 1,500 New Eagle fans that know my name. I don't know theirs. Everybody had a pretty good day. I don't know that anybody had a bad day outside of the penalties. That's what I would say. That's the one glaring piece that I think we need to clean up as we head to January 5th. But we're going to enjoy this one. Team's going to deservedly get a day off on Monday physically and get back to business on Tuesday as far as the practice is concerned. Give them some time off and then start preparing for North Dakota State. Thank you. Appreciate it.